Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be watching, reacting to and breaking down The Alphabet Killer, which came out in 2008, I believe. And just a quick side note, it is now 9 o'clock at night on Friday night. This should have been up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'm just doing it now. Life, man, it's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. It will be up sometime late this evening, very, very early Saturday morning. I don't know. It'll be up though. Anywho's, I made a few notes about cast. Okay. This movie had so many people that I either know or I recognize. The difference being, if I recognize them, I have no idea what their names are or what they've done. If I know them, I know what their names are and I know what they've done. Yeah. Okay. So, notably, I was very, very excited when I turned this movie on and saw that, I never say her name right. I don't feel like I do anyway. Elijah Dushku? Is that how you say it? I'm sorry. I love her so much. Of course, she was Faith in Buffy. That is the first thing I ever seen her in. And listen, we love Faith, okay? Team Faith. She was also in that cheerleader movie with Kristen Dunst. I have seen it. I can't think of the name of it right now. But that. Yes, I love her. Of course, Wrong Turn. Yeah. So, that made me very happy right off the bat. And then I have a list here. There was, Timothy Hutton, who I recognized, but I actually had to do a Google search because I could not think of what the frick I seen him in. His face was so familiar to me, but his name did nothing for me. Oh, by the way, Elijah Dushku plays Megan. She's our lead role, our heroine of the movie, okay? Timothy Hutton plays Richard, who he was in my Google search. What I thought I knew him from, what he looked familiar to me from, was The Haunting of Hill House. The father, like the older father, right? The younger one, I think, was the kid who played Elliot in E.T. I can never remember his name, but that was he played the father, like the young father, right? And then the old father was Timothy Hutton. And I Googled it, and yes, that was him. I knew it. The other one that came up was the movie The Dark Half. I'm going to have to watch that again because that's a Stephen King, based on a Stephen King novel. I watched that like fucking years ago. Not that I would particularly recognize him especially, I guess, but when I saw like a still frame of him in the movie, I totally recognized him. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go watch The Dark Half again. I'm just saying. We also have our Lord and Savior, Michael Ironside. I do love him. He plays Captain Nathan Necross. I think it's Necross. Of course, we know Michael Ironside from like Scanners. He was in V, the show V, back in the 80s. Anybody remember that? Great show, by the way. I have really no memory of it, except that he was in it. Robert Englund is in it. The lead guy of that show, I can see his face. I can't think of his name. That's going to bother me now. But anyway, it was a great show, just saying. Anyhow, he's in it. He plays, like I said, Captain Nathan Necross. He is the captain of, there's two police departments in this movie. So he is in the secondary police department, okay? Then we have Carrie Ellis. I think his name, I can't pronounce his name either. Of course, he plays Kenneth, who is Megan's like boyfriend. Yeah. And of course, we know him from The Princess Bride and Saw. Many, many other things. He's one of those ones, I see his face in a lot of stuff, but I can never think of what I've seen him in. And we have Bill Moseley. Yes, yes, yes. Bill Moseley is in this. I love Bill Moseley so much. He's a good time. He plays Carl. He is sort of a like an after school kids program person, right? And of course, we know Bill Moseley from The Devil's Rejects. That's my all-time favorite movie. I love that friggin' movie. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I actually saw him in something else recently, and I cannot remember for the life of me what it was. And we have Tom Muna. He is one, I knew his face, and for love or money, I could not think of what I saw him in at all. I had to Google him too. He plays Ray, who is the police captain of like the city that the movie is taking place in. Megan's character is like I think she's a lieutenant, and Ray, or Tom Muna, is her boss. Okay, he's the police captain. And we know him from, he played Dollar Hyde in the Manhunter movie, it was like 80 something, 70 something Manhunter movie. That is the movie that Red Dragon is from. Well, based on the book Red Dragon and where the movie Red Dragon that Ralph Fiennes did, he plays Ralph Fiennes' character. If that makes any sense. I'm rambling. Sorry. Yes, I was very excited when I found that out. He is a very good actor. I know I've seen him in other things too. He's just got he's super tall and imposing to begin with. Okay. And then, but also he's just got a way about his face that you remember him. So those are what I wrote down about the cast. I found all very, very interesting. So, jumping into the movie itself, we have Megan Page, who is a police inspector for the Rochester Police Department, okay? And she is thrust into this murder investigation of a young girl named Carla Costello. And this poor girl's body was found in Churchville, New York, okay? Accompanied by an unsettling clue of white cat hair. Okay. She gets more and more involved in the case, almost like to the point where she doesn't even sleep anymore, right? She just gets beyond obsessed with the case. Like it becomes quite unhealthy, actually. But her colleagues and even her boyfriend, Kenneth, who is Carrie Ellis, so they all dismiss her theory that the murderer is a serial killer. The police department as a whole is not on board with her thought train, right? They're all kind of like, you're kind of jumping the gun. But she's dead set. She is deadpan. She's going to prove this, right? However, despite her conviction of trying to prove her theory, she's unable to. And this puts her into a huge downward spiral. She goes into a depression. She gets really stressed out and ends up having a nervous breakdown. Like, she's hearing voices, she's seeing things and she can't make sense of it. And she even says out loud, she's hearing these voices saying, help me find him, blah, 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 blah. Right. And she's like, I can't. I can't do it. Like, I'm not even sleeping anymore. Like, what more do you want from me? Like, is she really, you know, and then she ends up self-harming and she gets hospitalized. 2 years after that, we see her in a therapy session with Richard, who is a wheelchair-bound sort of mentor for her. And through the group sessions that she's having, she starts to sort of get her confidence back, sort of get her footing back in, you know, in her life. And, you know, she's not a detective anymore, but she is working in she is still working at the police department, but in like the records area, or the records department. And she enjoys it. You know, good for her. Good for her. However, everything gets turned all wishy-washy when another young girl is found. And this girl's name is Wendy Walsh. She is the latest victim, and her body was found in Webster, New York. We're picking up on the pattern. Same letter in both names, first and last, and in the town or city that the body is found in. Okay, all the same letters. She's also found with white cat hair at the scene. Okay. Megan's investigative instincts kick in, and she goes to Kenneth, who is now the police captain. The original police captain, Tom Nuna, is the one who suggested that she take time off and whatever. And he was so sweet to her, and she would have no part of it. And then she has her breakdown and gets hospitalized, right? In the meantime, and like I said, she was hospitalized for 2 years. A lot of shit happens in 2 years, right? So in that time, Ray, Nuna's character, had retired, stepped down, whatever, and Kenneth is now the police chief. And she talks to him about, you know, her feelings on the case, and that she's doing much better and blah, 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 blah. But she feels it would help her to have another crack at this case, at least as a consultant. And so he agrees to this, right? You are here on a consultant basis because of the prior knowledge she has of the case. But she is not to have a loaded weapon. She is not to investigate anything alone. She is not to talk to witnesses alone. She is completely supervised and observe and report, right? She is hands off. So he teams her up with another officer named Stephen to try and uncover links between the victims. When there is a third discovery of another victim, Melissa Mastro, sorry, who is found in, I don't know this town or city, Macedon, sorry, raises all kinds of alarms for Megan and her partner, right? And they are just killing themselves trying to find something that connects all three victims together. Their efforts yield little results as they struggle to tie the victims to Carla Costello. This leads to a lot of uncertainty for Megan. She is starting to see things and hear things again. The other police station that's involved is unwilling to cooperate. Like, they're with this last victim, they were told that our police team is investigating the abduction side of it because what was her name? Melissa was abducted in our jurisdiction and then taken outside of our jurisdiction, killed, and the body left, right? Body dumped, right? So the other jurisdiction has the murder investigation, and we only have the kidnapping. And we were told that this other police department would share information. Well, we all know how well police share information across departments, right? They don't. So this is adding very much to Megan's frustration. Then we get a report from an Elizabeth Eckers, who's reporting like a hostage situation, claiming that she is a captive to the killer. Megan is convinced this suspect is the notorious alphabet killer. Okay. Ignoring protocol, she rushes to prevent a police raid. There's like a bajillion cops out all ready to rush this house, right? But Megan wants this bust. Like, she needs this bust, right? I mean, she's losing her marbles again. Like, shit's hitting the fan. Like, you know, her hand's doing this weird twitchy thing. Like, she wants this bust. So she just about talks this guy. Well, she does. She 100% talks this guy down, right? It's just, she's like, it's just an argument, right? Y'all had a disagreement. It's fine. It happens. No need to get hairy, right? It's fine. Put your shit down. Let me take the girl out and we'll talk. Like, it's fine. Like, them out there, they're crazy. Like, they want action, but you know, we know that's not necessary. We know that you've done nothing wrong. It was just an argument, right? An argument that got out of hand. It's fine. He puts the gun down. Okay. She has him totally convinced. Like, even the girl, she's like, no, he essayed me. He essayed me. Like, you know, but she looks over at Megan. Megan's looking at her like, bitch, go with me. She finally clicks. She finally gets the memo. And she's like, oh, yeah. No, it's fine. We're fine. We had a misunderstanding. It was just an argument. You know, it was an essay, a situation that turned into an argument. Like, good Lord, this girl. But he actually put the gun down. And then he walks over to the window. And the police just open fire on this guy. It's madness. It's absolute madness. The Webster Police Department, which is us, pronounced the alphabet, or no, I'm sorry, it's the other police department, the ones that are working against us, pronounced the alphabet killer dead. Okay. He is no more. They also make mention, like through the news report, that white cat hair was discovered at the scene. Okay. But it wasn't. Like, there was no cat, there was no litter box, and the fur, she goes back to the scene and checks. And there was nothing. Like, the cat hair mentioned was in one spot, like literally one spot. There was no cat to be found, there was no litter box to be found, there was nothing. So by now, Megan is hanging on by a thread, okay? She is stressed the fuck out. Everybody's looking at her like, you know, she's a broken little China doll. The other police department is lying to her. They actually called her department and put in a complaint on her. And she's grown suspicious that the police have planted the evidence to justify the killing of an innocent person, because he was not who this girl was saying he was, right? He may well have been trying to assault her, but he was not he was not the killer, right? So Megan has decided that she is going to find out the truth. And through the course of her nosing around, re-talking to witnesses, I think she goes back and talks. There was like a bartender that she talked to before. She finds out new information, that the first girl, Carlo Costello or whatever, her dad was supposed to have her every Tuesday, and the bartender told her that that wasn't the case, that, you know, back then he was heavily drinking and whatever, and she started going to her nana, like his mom or something, and she was a big churchgoer. And so she's kind of found out through the course of all this poking around that all the kids involved attended St. Michael's Church in Rochester. And at this point now, I mean, she's just seeing all kinds of visions or hallucinations of the victims, and they're all like, they're gray and dark and gross, and, you know, they don't look like the kids at all. And Megan decides to visit the church, but that sadly ends up in just a huge breakdown, and she ends up being hospitalized again. While she's there, though, she does meet another priest. I can't remember his name, but you know, he's got pictures up on the wall of all the kids, and specifically our 3 kids, right? 3, yeah. And then he's also got a shrine for them, like up on the wall, and then like there's even candles under it. And I think there was a title or whatever, like overhead, said something like I don't know, like God's angels or whatever, which is something she kept hearing in her head. And then, yeah, she keeps hearing like loud music, and he's going, like, she's like, what the fuck is with the music? And you know, the padre is like, what? Like, there ain't no music, girl. With the right? And she ends up just literally in a ball on the floor in the middle of the church when the cops, because she told her boss that she was heading there, all come in, and I mean, she's just inconsolable and covering her ears and crying and sobbing, and it's really sad. It is really, really sad. In a twist, though, after fleeing from the hospital, and listen, when she flees, this doctor that she has, it's the same doctor that she had when she tried to, yeah, such a nice doctor, and he's so, like, he truly listens, and he truly wants, like, he's concerned for her, right? He wants her to get better. He doesn't, you know, she's been diagnosed, I don't think I mentioned, she's been diagnosed with some form of schizophrenia, and so like she's been medicated and whatever, right? But like she has this other breakdown, and the doctor's like, listen, like, she's like, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to blah, blah. And he's like, girl, this is the problem. Like, this is your disease talking. This isn't you. Like, you need to look after you. Like, you know, you had a good thing going, and now you've backslid. So we need to work on this. We need to fix this. Like, please stay here. Let me help you. Right. And she's not having any part of it. She's like, you know, she's getting dressed. She's getting the fuck out. Right. So he calls for backup, right, to help. And when the backup comes, he's holding him off, trying to talk her down. Like, please stay, like, work with me. You know, I have your best interest at heart. Nobody's trying to hurt you, blah, 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 right? And she's like, nope, I'm gone. And when the guy tries to stop her, she actually gets him down on the ground and, like, breaks his elbow, like, the other way. Like his elbow's over here, and when she's done, it's over here. It's horrible. But as she does it, and she looks up at the doctor, and she says, I really like you. I won't hit you as long as you stay in this room until I'm gone. and trust and believe he stays in that fucking room. It's great. It was one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It was so Faith. It was so Faith. Once she leaves, Megan finds safety hiding place over at Richard's. They're sitting and talking, and he's like, where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? And she's like, well, I just need to get some sleep, dude. Like, I'm so tired, like wrecked. I think I gave her like Thorazine or something in the hospital. She's like, I just need to sleep this shit off, okay? Like, we woozy here. She doesn't want to go home because she knows that they're gonna go there looking for her. But it's here that she discovers a horrifying truth, okay? It's almost heartbreaking, really. After fleeing the hospital, Megan discovers a very upsetting truth. She finds that pictures of Richard working with kids at St. Michael's Church as like a math tutor kind of thing, right? In the wheelchair and all that good stuff. And as she's going through the pictures, and there's a couple of books there too that have, like, from the church that have collages of all the kids and stuff in it. Richard comes out of the bathroom or wherever it was he was in, because she's in his bedroom going through his shit, right? She wakes up and finds like a white fluffy cat. Okay. She follows the cat into his room. He's not there. So she's going through like his books and stuff and finds the pictures of the kids and the picture of him working at the church and all that kind of stuff. And as she's starting to sort of piece things together, Richard comes out of the bathroom wherever he was in and asks her, what are you doing in my room, whatever. And she asks him about, you know, the math tutoring in the church and all this kind of stuff. And he just very matter-of-factly says, well, I didn't want to tell you about any of that because I didn't want you to know that I was the killer. And then he lunges out of the chair at her. Like, it's just so sudden. It's crazy. And she fights him hard. The struggle accumulates into a standoff where Megan, and she does shoot him. He tumbles into, seizes Richard's gun. Green River. That's what it looks like when I'm dyslexic. I don't know exactly what. Genesee River. I don't know. Just past a roaring waterfall. And it's actually a really neat shot that they do. Leaving Megan shaken, bewildered, and just utterly broken and confused, right? In the aftermath of the confrontation, the result is Megan being institutionalized yet again. It's horrible. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. She is left reeling from the experience. She's in the psychiatric ward, lost in an absolute fog of drugs and despair. And even though she's in this state, in a quiet room, her imagination conjures the spirits of the alphabet killer's victims, all immersed in a demand for justice to be served. It's heartbreaking, really. You know, this poor woman is just, I mean, she's broken. She's absolutely broken by this. And the one person that she trusted and that she looked up to for guidance and strength and, you know, was the fucking killer. What? What? I was shocked. I'm usually pretty good at whodunits, and I gotta say that until we saw the cat, I got nothing. And even with seeing the cat, I was like, oh, but it's a quinky dink. It's a quinky dink. We like Richard. Richard was kind of sweet. Like, you know? And he even says, he tells her that he loves her. Like he's not gonna do nothing to her. She's not his type. But he valued her as a friend, right? He cared about her in his way, right? The only reason he was gonna off her was because she found him out, right? But like, holy moly, holy moly. And you know, I kind of thought, because in the opening she does a narration, right? Something about, you know, part of the job or most of the job is listening. But you know, it's hard to do that when the only ones who want to talk to you are dead. And so I was thinking, oh, she's like psychic. It's going to be like The Return or whatever, right? Like she's getting the echoes, stir echoes. She's getting, you know, she's picking up on those vibes, right? But no, I take this as she actually had schizophrenia. It wasn't a wrong diagnosis. They weren't misunderstanding her gift for mental illness. She was mentally ill, 100%. It was late stage. It was late stage onset. Whatever the hell. I'm sorry. I have such a headache. It's so hard to concentrate. But yeah, she was 100% mentally ill the entire time. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And the thing that was holding her together, giving her something to focus on, was the job, until this particular case came up and just blew everything out of the water for her, right? This case essentially ruined her life. Like, whew, it turned what she was good at against her, right? So sad. It was so sad. This was a good movie. It really was. I highly recommend it. I will put, as I normally do, in the description where you can stream it. I watched it off of Tubi, but Tubi does have ads. So if you have a problem with ads, I'll put other places down there. But I mean, I don't care for, I will, ads don't bother me. I don't care. Anyways, I enjoyed this movie. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. If you did, please comment and leave a like. And if you haven't, please subscribe. And until next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.